This is Fitness Blender's 8-minute ab workout routine. We're just going to go through one round of 7 different exercises. It should take us about 8 minutes total. Let's go ahead and get started with the first exercise. We're going to start with the supine hovering side crunches. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Go ahead and lift those hands and feet up off the ground. And then nice and slow, using those obliques, crunch those arms and legs off to the left side, bending at that torso. And then nice and slow, straighten back up. And then keep going right over to the right side, squeezing with that right oblique this time, pulling those legs and arms over to the right side. Just keep alternating back and forth. Really try to focus on keeping your balance as you do this. You're going to want to roll left to right, but try to keep your body as level as possible, just arching sideways, not rolling sideways. Just keep that motion going. Try to keep those arms as straight as you can. Try to keep them right next to those ears. Those legs fully extended straight out from those hips, just slowly rocking back and forth. And that's your last one. Go ahead and let it relax. We're going to move on to the next one. This is the reclined oblique crunch. Propping yourself up on those elbows with those legs straight up in the air. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So you're going to start with that right arm only, crunching across the outside of your left leg. Keep those abs nice and tensed. Just keep that motion going as you squeeze across to the left side as far as you can. Really rotate those shoulders and kind of doing a little bit of a quarter crunch as you come up towards those legs. Just keep that motion going. Two more repetitions. Last one, nice tight squeeze. And let those legs drop. All right, next one, we're going to switch over to the opposite side. Do the same thing again, this time reaching with your left arm. And begin. Same exact motion, just in the opposite direction. So those legs are straight out from those hips. This time bringing that left arm across to the outside of that right leg. Getting a nice tight squeeze, rotating those shoulders and getting a nice tight crunch as you do so. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. If those abs and legs aren't quite strong enough to hold this position, then just do it with a single leg. So keep that right leg up, drop your left leg down to the ground. Just got a couple more repetitions. Here's your last one right here, nice tight squeeze, and let it relax. All right, next one is the side hip raise. We're doing a full version on this one. So basically coming up to that side plank off that hand. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So bring those hips up, those feet are stacked. That left hand is directly underneath that shoulder. Then you're going to drive those hips straight up as high as you possibly can, pulling that left shoulder down towards that left hip. Get a nice tight squeeze through that oblique, primarily on that left side, that bottom side. So really try to get as much range of motion out of this as you can. Drop those hips down as close to the mat as is comfortable. And then drive them straight back up, pulling that left shoulder down underneath that chest, getting a nice tight squeeze on that oblique, really trying to shove those hips up. Almost done. And go ahead and let it relax. We're going to switch sides, do the same thing on the other side. Stack those feet, hand directly underneath that shoulder, press it up, and start that motion, dropping that hip as low as you can, then pressing it right back up. Really nice tight squeeze on that opposite oblique this time, on that right side. Still concentrating on dropping that shoulder down underneath you, so that right shoulder is going to come underneath, squeezing it down towards that right hip. Really focusing on trying to get those two as close together as you possibly can, really driving those hips up. So a few more repetitions. Just keep that motion going. Just 2 more repetitions. One left, nice tight squeeze, and let it relax. All right, next one is a back bow crossover. We're using a yoga block here just as a marker to keep that motion nice and clean. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So as you come up, you're going to lift those arms and legs at the same time. Rock to the left as far as you possibly can, squeezing with those obliques. Then bring it up, rock to the right as far as you can. And then right back again, trying to let those feet or hands actually touch the ground. You want to just barely touch if you do. And then lift them right back up, coming back over to the other side. Now that yoga block you want there just as a focus point to try to get back and forth across, try to make sure it's even on both sides, and also as a marker point to try to get those hands up nice and high. Just keep focusing on that motion, trying to get as much range of motion out of those legs and those arms as possible, and as much range of motion from the left side to the right side as possible. Almost done. Just 2 more on each side. And let it relax. Very good. All right, moving on to the next one. This is a Russian twist. Now you can use a dumbbell or a medicine ball in your hands to make this more difficult, but if you've never done it before, try it with just your body weight. Get ready? And begin. So back is perfectly flat. Arms are straight out from that chest, 90-degree angle off that chest. Nice and slow, rotate left to right. Try to get as much rotation as you possibly can. And really focus on trying to rotate those shoulders as much as possible, but not moving those arms. So those hands should always stay centered right on the middle of your chest. The only thing that's rotating are those shoulders. Just keep that motion going. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can always let those feet touch down. Otherwise, keep them up off the ground. Makes those obliques have to work a little bit harder as those legs are hovering. Just make sure you keep that back perfectly flat. Almost done. One more. And let it relax. All right, this is our second to last exercise, the Crisscross Crunches. Start laying out flat on your back for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Bring that left leg up nice and high. Bring that right elbow across that left knee, and then start alternating. So as one leg goes out, the other leg's coming in. And then rotate those shoulders, trying to get from left to right, trying to actually touch that elbow to your knee as best you can. Now the key with this one to make it really difficult is never let that knee come in past your hip joint. So you want that knee or that leg to come in so that thigh is perfectly straight up and down, but never let it come over top of that body. Just keep that motion going, really trying to crunch forward to touch that elbow to your knee, and let it relax. All right, we've got our last one next. This is a toe touch crunch. Just burn those abdominal muscles out just a little bit more. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Those legs come straight up over top of those hips. Then crunch up towards those toes. Try to get up as high as you possibly can. Lay back as far as possible without letting those abdominal muscles release. You want to constantly keep them nice and tensed. Really focus on getting a nice tight squeeze at the top. Really push up like you're actually trying to touch those toes. Almost done. That's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. And that is it. You're done with this workout.